I did like the beginning of this film because it's like, they put you on edge from the beginning, saying that, like, something random happened, a random storm happened,
neutrino burst,
neutrino burst, and that like knocks off your captain of the ship, which really sucks. So everybody's already pissed about it, and you lose like 47 colonists, I think, that were sleeping. Imagine dying in your sleep. That sucks.
Way better than having Walter wake you up and be like, "Oh man, we're all gonna die." Everybody, like all the crew, wake up, and the crew has to wake up. They're vomiting. They're like, they thought they'd get a nice peaceful wake up, and instead they're fighting for their life.
But the thing is, I think they don't believe in like shit happens. Because Walter even says like, "Well, it's random. There's nothing you could do about it. It's space. We don't know space. Space could be unpredictable. Anything could happen." And then Oram goes, "No, I don't believe in that." It's like, how can we prevent that? It's like, well, it's not about preventing. It's just, a storm happens and you have a loss. That's what happens. You have to protect with what you got. And, but obviously we knew from the start that this is a bad idea. This is a totally like, it's kind of adolescent what they did.
I have problems piled upon problems. But
that's okay. That's predetermined. So they make a stupid move. Fine. Every horror film starts off that way.
Yeah, but this one started off with so many, like right away, Oram, he is the captain of this mission now. The crew, right, yeah. But he's a man of faith. So right away, he should not be leading this group because he needs to be a man of science. He needs to think of this. This is a scientific.
He's a man of faith. What gave away that he was a man of faith? What do you mean by that?
When he said he was a man of faith. Like he believes everything. Said it? Yeah, like he's way into.
So why do you not believe that storm was random? I don't remember him saying that.
He doesn't believe it. He believes everything is.
So that happened for a reason. There was a storm. You got hit. You lost some casualties.
Yeah, he won't take that. It's random. Like those no. So
you had to stop there.
He's like, no, there has to be a reason. Everything happens for a reason.
Okay. All right.
It's just he seems like a terrible guy to go in charge. And then when he sees that planet because of the John Denver song, they
oh man, I think I hate that part of the film.
He takes that as a sign.
Yeah.
And like you don't want somebody who is. Making decisions based on his faith rather than making decisions based on fact and science and he research.
Right. So he's based on faith, and he did not want to have a send off to basically Captain Branson, who's James Franco.
Why didn't he want to send?
I don't know. It takes a minute before they launch him. I don't understand. Like, no, guys, we can't waste time. What are you talking about? You can't take 2 minutes to do it, and he's a man of faith.
Yeah,
and then you saw them watching him. He was watching them in the surveillance camera, and he was kind of going along with what they were saying. It's like they disobeyed a direct order. Like, how insecure are you? Why are you second captain?
Yeah, well, I think it was it his wife later that says
just pull it together, slap out of it.
Well, it's like, remember, you're their captain now, but once we reach the planet, you're just going to be their neighbor.
That's true.
So it's like, yeah,
it's a short trip, right?
You're going to be a neighbor nobody wants to talk to. You're not going to be invited to the barbecues. I'll tell you that.
Hey, neighbor. I'll bring the potato salad.
Yeah. So Oram right away, I don't like him,
but that's okay. You could there's nothing wrong with that choice.
I felt like there was never a moment to like him. It wasn't a debate. Like when they were questioning it, I was like, well, for sure, don't abort the mission. Don't change the mission. Go to Origai 6. And their whole complaint against it was, well, after those people, the colonists died, nobody really wants to go back into the pods to go to sleep.
Everybody's
like, well, I'm sorry that you're all afraid to go back into the pods, but there's no reason to change the mission completely.
That's true. But the thing is, but if they didn't get that transmission, that wouldn't have led to that planet. So if the city had no transition, they would still have to go into those pods anyway.
Okay, so they pick up this strange transmission.
That does not make any sense.
John Denver.
I don't get this context at all. I don't understand. And it turns out to be Elizabeth Shaw singing Country Road.
Which, if you hadn't seen the first movie, you'd be even more lost. But
No, but she doesn't even sing it in the first movie anyway. So
she doesn't even sing it in the first movie.
She sings it in the trailer. That's what everybody sings. Because in the trailer it was hinted that something bad happened to her. And we know what happens to her later. Okay. So, she's singing this. I'm like, why? And like, this is so random. She was kind of British in the first film.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is she singing that song? Why can't she sing, I don't know, London Bridge is falling down? No, I'm kidding. That's stupid. I don't know. Of course it's the worst. But like, that I think that distresses something even worse than like, John Denver's Country. I don't understand. And I was wondering why is that there? That doesn't make any sense. It could have been something else. And how did that become a transmission?
Yeah. Like, to me, I thought this is what the aliens were using to lure people to that planet. Just in watching it, taking it at face value, not really understanding most of what was going on. I'm hoping that you're going to help me understand this movie a little bit better.
Okay, sure.
And not remembering Prometheus very well, and just taking in this from what I saw, I thought, okay, they're playing this transmission over and over, and they're kind of luring passerbys.
It's like a siren kind of thing?
Kind of like a siren where it's like, there's human life here. We got to go. And really, it's just aliens wanting hosts. But I don't think it was that. I don't think it was that. Now that, a little more has revealed itself.
I don't know. It's kind of dumb.
But this is all story. We're characters. And I think this is maybe a problem with watching trailers, watching extended scenes before this film.
Oh, I never watched extended scenes before a film.
There was an extended scene
Which one?
Where James Franco was a big part of that scene. It was like a good 7 minutes. Really? Where you see James Franco and the rest of the crew and Tennessee, and they're all having a good time.
Really?
James Franco's like, well, I think James Franco was getting sick. He wasn't feeling very good in this as the captain. So he goes and he's like, oh, I'm going to go take a bit of a rest and see you guys later. Okay. And he's like draped in a blanket and he goes and lies down. The whole time I'm watching this movie, he's like, when is James Franco going to come back? Because I saw this scene and I saw good times with the crew members. And I was like, how are these good times going to happen after everyone's been dying? It's like, did I see the right thing? Like, why is...
That's weird.
Like, because James Franco's in this film.
They kind of did that with another Ridley Scott film with Matt Damon. Oh, Jesus, I'm drawing a blank now. I hate this. They're on Mars. Jesus. Come on, Matthew.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Ghosts of Mars?
No. How do you remember that one? Oh, God.
Mars Attacks?
Oh, stop it. I shouldn't have mentioned Mars. Anyways, the last Ridley Scott film with Matt Damon, which I'm drawing a blank on, and I'll look it up as we keep on. But I just want to elaborate is the fact that they had an extended scene too, where they're basically it's Matt Damon taking a tour on the in the entire ship, and he
runs into James Franco.
No, not runs into James Franco, but he basically introduces the crew, but that's an extra. That's a part of the trailer. It's a promotional thing, so they do that often. It's true.
It's like James Franco's whole scene was cut out, and then he just ended up being the guy who dies.
No, it's just part of the promo. It's part of the promo. That's what he does.
Well, that's what I was thinking too at the end, because I believe he said because he was feeling under the weather, and when he goes to lie down, he's like, "All right, guys, I'm burning up. I got to go lie down." Do you think that was a hint for when he actually burned up?
Maybe it's ironic.
One of the things he says, like, "I'm burning up," and then he actually dies in the first 5 minutes of this movie.
The Martian. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, there we go. Yeah, in The Martian, they had exactly. They had extra scenes.
They always have extra scenes in movies that get cut out, but it's weird to have a character completely cut out of the film except for a death scene.
I find it is useless though, that's for sure. If you wanted to say that, if you're saying that it was useless, I agree. I totally agree.
I thought it'd be a little good to have a little more bonding between the crew before you just see everything destroy them.
They should have probably showed that right after they had the Guy Pearce scene with Mike Fassbender, Waylon and David, and right after they have that good times, and then time jump a bit, but Maybe. Or maybe they should have had it on videotape, like she was reviewing footage or whatever it was, and then have that footage on a phone or something, somebody just putting that on Instagram or Snapchat. I don't know what.
I just feel like this whole mission was jeopardized by all of these people being in relationships with each other. I feel like it should have been
couples should not be.
Well, no, I feel like it shouldn't have been a romantic involvement. It should have just been scientific. It should have been, okay, we have to mate for repopulation or just population, since this place has never been populated, and that is our job. If you die, I'll go to the next available body.
Aliens make it so mechanical. Like there's no
aliens don't care. Aliens just do it to whoever. You got a mouth?
No. I'd have nothing against the couples thing. I just feel like this is not a couples retreat. Unless it's a vacation, if it's a mission, forget it. But unless their significant others come along after they repopulate or something, or even not have them go on the same ship. You're saying, but there was no couples fighting at all here. So I don't think that was.
It was. What did you think of Karen's character? Not Karen's character, but Ferris's character.
Oh, when the second pilot, when she when she brings him down.
When she. I
found her so badass. Like at the beginning when she was driving through the storm and everything. It's like she knows what she's doing. She's got to fix something. That's a very good hands-on woman. But when crap hits the fan, I was like, you just got bled on, and you're locking up the other person who didn't get bled on.
Completely ignores whatever protocol I'm sure she was instructed to do.
No, technically she's following protocol, but she should be locked in as well.
But her irrationality.
Exactly.
The first thing you do is stay calm. She did not stay calm.
No, absolutely.
She blew up the entire ship.
With that semi-automatic, I was freaking out. Yeah.
So it's basically she brings in it was either Hallett or Ledward. I forget which guy she brought in.
It's Leward. Yeah,
so he's infected because he breathed in some spore.
It was from those eggs those were actually left in Prometheus. That was left off. It was understood that Prometheus had they still had those that virus running around that planet.
Okay, And so from the trailer, we saw this in the trailer, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. You keep someone locked in this med bay thing because you don't want this infection getting out.
Right.
You don't know, like, you don't want to lock them in, but you have to.
Right.
This was not that case at all because they were both in there.
Right.
She got blood all over her. Then she ran out and locked her friend in there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that was totally rational.
And at no point could she could have definitely let that woman out because this alien was ripping.
She was more infected than anything. Yeah, she was more infected than anything. She got blood on her. She had blood like close to her, like the open spaces in your face, like the nose, the mouth, and the eyes too. So,
what was her reason for not letting Karen out of the med bay?
She felt, well, her argument is the right argument to say, like, I'm following protocol, but, like, wait, you're also infected. You should be in that room as well.
You shouldn't have ever let yourself out then. And if you let yourself out, let this other girl out.
Totally.
And then if she does think she's following protocol, she breaks protocol again.
Yeah.
When she runs out, gets a gun, and comes back and opens the door at the worst possible moment because now this alien is born, and it's running. It's
hit her ankle too at some point.
Yeah. It was just, I was so angry when she walked in and fired a gun, but like slipped on blood or something. And then she ends up blowing up the ship because she's insane.
If the alien was there, it would have been productive.
Yeah, I think the alien got out.
The alien did get out, yeah.
It was so like, oh my God.
Yeah, it did.
And,
I did like the, it wasn't a chest burster this time because I guess depending on the way you ingest on the virus.
Yeah, help me out here. Help me out with this because to me.
Not the way you ingest it, actually, sorry. It's not the, it's the way it's, well, it's a bit of both. The way you ingest it, but the way the egg is at first. It depends how the egg is.
So how many different scenarios are there? Because to me, it was just you have an egg, you have a face hugger. The face hugger implants something in you. That thing grows. It's a xenomorph or
xenomorph. I don't know really pronounce it.
Turns into a little chest burster that pops out. And that becomes an alien.
Because it needs a host. So the way
so what is this? Because now there were spores on a planet.
Exactly. So this virus could be any shape, from what it seems, and. I think it's the most purest shape is what we saw at first, what we're exposed to when somebody just steps on it and like the gas emits and you inhale it.
So that's the purest alien form is a plant.
It's that thing there. It seems like that's its first its first. Then the thing is the thing that we know the alien that we know so well that comes into that egg, opens up, and you have that face hugger just come at your face and get the host.
Yeah,
that was evolved and developed by David, the android from Prometheus. So
he constructed that, or
exactly.
That was just...
Exactly. That's why when he lures Oram into the what do you call it? Is it a concubine when you think about it? Is there
just that underground dungeon?
Sure.
Alien dungeon?
Yeah. Okay. Sure. And he sees that he's incubating these eggs. He says this is my perfection. So he somehow altered these things, and it became what it became.
Okay. So he didn't just let evolution take its natural course.
No,
he
exactly.
Altered it using...
He made experiments.
Using the body of...
Exactly.
Shaw and, I guess, other things. I don't know.
Maybe if he had some more engineers on him. I mean, he let in that infection and just killed everybody. Killed the creator. He killed his creator's creator because that was the whole ordeal. That's what set the tone in the film. Seeing knowing your creator, and I think immortality has a big thing with this. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean they quoted that poem, the Ozymandias poem, a lot, and I mean that was basically about what was that about? Like being in charge, being the ruler, being the king, but everything still gets destroyed, and like whatever you create will be destroyed as well. I don't know why he kept quoting it, and I don't know why he didn't know who wrote it because he got it wrong.
He did get it wrong because Walter ends up correcting, which I liked. I'm like, owned. And the thing is that like what I find I don't know if you call it a flaw or if it's a complexity, or obviously it's done on purpose, but it's he loves the arts so much that are basically done by humans, but yet he looks down on humans.
Yeah.
So I'm there and I'm like, okay, this is kind of, it's kind of backhanded when you think about it. It's like, he looks down on humans, but he loves our work. Obviously he's a part of that work. He's a part of those accomplishments. So I guess that's why he loves them so much. He's amongst the things that they created and he loves them, but he looks down on them. He's like, I guess it's It's a godlike complexity, kind of like a Dr. Frankenstein kind of complexity, which I usually love. I usually love storylines that involve a Frankenstein complexity. We go like to Westworld or even just back to the Frankenstein films. I love that godlike complexity. I love that stuff. That to me. But in this case, I love Prometheus for that reason. But I feel like in this